you're looking at ways to enhance your income, there are some ETFs that you can invest and you can make a lot of income from them. For example, in this ETF I'm going to present to you today, if you invest $25,000, you're going to get 1,297 shares, and that will give you 1,011 a month or annual income of 12,137. If you double that to $50,000, you're going to get 24,000 annual income. And if you put 100,000, you're going to get 48,000. If you put 150, you're going to get 72,000. And this is amount I can say is a little bit serious that you can actually think about quitting your job and just rely on this ETF. But should you do that, before getting too excited about this income projection, I want to show you what this ETF is and if it's right for you to invest your money. This is YieldMax Meta Option Income Strategy ETF, or FIBI, and the price of today is 1926. After hours, it went up a little bit. 1960. If we stretch the chart, we can see it's been up and down a lot. But what I want to show you is this. At one point, this ETF went all the way down to $16, but it regained and it went back to where it is today at 19. Again, as I've mentioned before, when you look at these ETFs, you might see this ETF is down today. And a lot of people would say, well, this ETF has NAV erosion. But what I can say, it depends what kind of ETF you're looking at, because sometimes they go down, as you can see here, and then it rebound. But this is just one example, but this happens all the time. When we look at the number metric for this ETF, 52-week range is between $16.55 to $24.48. So at one point, it was even higher than what it is today. It has a little bit of volume, about 60,000 to 91,000. Year to date total return is at 36%, and the management expense ratio is 0.99. But if you add all the little expenses and all the taxes, is about 1.03%. Fund family is YieldMax ETFs. Net asset right now is 103, but I'm going to show you the updated version of net asset right now. Is that I think is more than this. When we look at the fund category, is derivative income, because this is synthetic. So the derivative is pretty much like a synthetic call options. This fund was incepted on July 27, 2023. Performance overview. FIBI has returned year to date 36.72%. But if you look at the other category, the same similar type of fund has returned only 13.20. So FIBI has beaten them. When we look at 1 year, FIBI has returned 52.75. But if we look at similar other ETFs, only returned 0.25. But we stretch to 3 years, we can see here is 0. But category has returned about 6.56. And the reason why this is here is 0 is because FIBI hasn't been out for 3 years. It's only been out for about a year and 3 months. If you're interested with this type of ETF like a FIBI, there are other type of ETFs which are almost similar. There's a GUI, there's AMZY, there's Nefli, there's MSO4, which is Microsoft, there's Apple, which is Apple, and there's AMDY, which is AMD stock. If you're interested with these ETFs here, I'm going to leave a link below because I've talked about all these ETF in my previous videos. FIBI is an ETF that writes synthetic cover calls on Facebook, which is Meta right now. If we look at the Meta stock, has gone up massively. At one point, it was at $95. So if you invested your money in Meta stock just 2 years ago, today you would have almost 6 times your money. 52-week range, Meta has ranged between 279 to 602. Volume is a lot, about 13 million. Analyst prediction for Meta growth within a year is about 601. This means growth for Meta stock. Remember, as Meta goes up, FIBI also is going to go up, though it's not going to go up as much as Meta because of the income you're receiving. On YieldMax website, the yield right now is 62, and this is based off the last dividend they've paid. The first time they paid was in September 18, 2023, and the last dividend they paid was on October 11, 2024. Let's look at the fund overview for people who are new to this type of ETFs. So YieldMax Meta Option Income Strategy ETF is an actively managed fund that seeks to generate monthly income by selling or writing calls options on Meta. FIBI pursues a strategy that aims to harvest compelling yield while retaining capped participation in the price gain of Meta. To explain retaining capped participation in the price gain of Meta, meaning is not going to go up as Meta, as I've mentioned before, because you're receiving an income. It has 2 objectives. The first one is to see current income, and the second objective is to have exposure to the stock of Meta. Fund information. Ticker symbol is FIBI. Was incepted on July 27, 2023. Primary exchange is a New York Stock Exchange. A gross expense ratio is 0.99. Net asset at management as of today is 114 million. NAV, which is net asset value, is 1925. This means this ETF hasn't lost NAV. I'm going to show in a spreadsheet why. Performance since inception has returned about 61.98%. Top 10 holdings for Phoebe. As I've mentioned before, this ETF doesn't hold the stock directly. They just write a cover call synthetically. But what he does, of course, he holds a bunch of treasury, and this is for generating money from bonds and also using that as a collateral. And also they do other call option on Facebook. For example, here there's a call. There's a call and expiration date are these one on October 25th. There's October 25th. There's also another one in October 25th this year. Now let's go to my favorite part of this video. This is a spreadsheet that I created, and what I did, I put all the distribution since inception. I got distribution all total together. If we look at the average, has paid about 78 cents per share. All in all, they've paid $10.87. And that will give us a $30.15 price as of today. And the number comes from adding all the distribution that they've paid so far plus the price of today. Using our average distribution of 78 cents per share with the price of today, it gives us annual distribution yield of 49%. So the number that I showed you earlier, which are this income projection, were based on this annual distribution here of 49. You might ask, why do you have 49% yield here while on YieldMax website it says 62.34? The reason is because this yield here is based on current distribution they just paid. My annual yield on this spreadsheet is based on average distribution they've paid so far, and this is actually the best way to calculate your income because it gives you the reality, because sometimes you're going to get higher, sometimes you're going to get lower. And that's when I get this income projection I showed you earlier where we stopped at 150. It's going to give you $72,000, but if you put 200,000 you're going to get 97,000 annually, and that should give you 8,091 a month. If you invested 300,000, that's going to give you 145, and that's 12,000 a month. So if we go all the way to $500,000, that's going to give you 20,000 a month, which is going to be 242, almost $250,000 annually. So that's an insane amount of income for people who don't want the money right now, but they just want to invest their money and wait for a little bit longer, like let's say 10 years from now. This is how you can do to generate enough income in the future. You invest $50,000 today using our dividend yield, which is 49%, and within 10 years, this is the projection of your income. Within a couple of years, your total value of your portfolio, $50,000 is going to be $86,000. And remember, you get all the dividend and you reinvest all the dividends back again. Within 10 years, your portfolio will be 1,383,551,100,000, and income at that point will be more than 300,000. Total dividend you've received at that point is over $1 million. If we look at yield column, we can see we start at 49%, and year 10 we are at 24%. This is because the more you compound your money, the more the yield comes down. And not only that, this also calculates the inflation that we have right now, which is very high. That's all I have for today, guys. I just want to show you how you can generate a lot of money using Phoebe ETF, and also to show you that not all ETF have that NAV erosion. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Make sure you like and also share with someone who you think this video might help to generate income. Thank you very much for watching. Till we meet again next video. Bye bye.